Recently on this channel, you met a Doberman owner named Brett and his two gorgeous Dobermans, Baxter, the American Doberman Pinscher, and Remington, or Remy for short, his new European Doberman puppy. And at that time, we asked Brett to show off the amazing life he's provided for his dogs. But this time, we wanted to join Brett on one of his amazing adventures with his dog, Remy. And he's gonna take Remy out to an entire town dedicated to dogs. I mean, this dog's gonna go to the market, the restaurant, out to a bar, and out on a lake. This is a really cool adventure that's really gonna show you what it's like owning an amazing dog like Remy. So sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Doberman Planet. This is Brett, Remington, and Baxter again. Remington is almost 5 months old, and Baxter's almost 2 years old. And I'm about to take them out on their morning run. So we have a huge day planned for Remington. We are taking Remington down to a little town called Dunedin. It's a very, very dog-friendly town, which is why it's also known as Dogedin. Before we do that, let me hop on my phone because we are going to be taking Remington also down onto the boat. And I will use my app to tell the marina we want the boat in the water. There we go. So we will be down there later today. All right, so as I take the dogs for their morning run, I'll give you a few updates on Remington. So Remington has really developed quite a bit with his commands since the last time we spoke. He has got sit, stay, no, come, paw, speak, like a lot of really good solid commands which are gonna be really helpful when I take him out in the town today. So I'm only gonna be bringing Remington with me today. I want Remington to really develop a lot of his own social skills independently without Baxter here. So I'm really curious to see how he interacts with people when we're down in Dunedin socializing. And then I'm really excited about taking this boat trip with him. I can't even imagine how he's gonna behave, but I'm not gonna force anything. So why don't we go ahead and pack up the Jeep and get ready to take our road trip down to Dunedin. So now packing up a dog for an entire day where he's gonna be traveling in a car for hours, he's gonna be gone for this long, I'm gonna make sure I get packed up and get him some food. So I'm gonna get a cooler with some ice, get some water in there, put some more ice in there, get some dry food, put a bowl in there, maybe a bone because he's gonna get bored, he's gonna be wanting to gnaw on something. And then finally, I'm gonna obviously bring some poop bags because God forbid he leaves somebody a treat while we're out in the town. But with that, also, let me show you this canopy. Now, another thing about Dobies is they will like to shove. Remy will try to push his way right up into the front seat. So this kind of gives me two levels. One gives him more traction so that while we're on a road, Baxter and Remy can actually have some traction and it holds them from falling down into here. But also gives us this barrier, somewhat of a barrier from him pushing his way through. Now, for me, this is good enough, but other people might want to put actually a net, and you got to really be careful because a 60-pound, 50, 60-pound puppy, Doberman, will push his way straight up into your lap while you're driving. So just keep in mind. Good boy. So you'll notice one of the cool things I love about these harnesses that have handles is with Remington, it makes it really easy for me to lift him up and bring him right into the Jeep. Let's go, bud. And we are off, huh, Rem? So now our first trip is gonna be down to an outdoor market in Dunedin. Why I think this is gonna be so interesting is it's a great venue where they have a lot of people that bring their dogs, and it's just like a lot of food stands and little craft stands, but it's an incredible environment for him to start socializing. It is really important that we socialize a Doberman early on, simply because we want them to get used to the environment, all the kind of chaos, all the noises, other animals and things, because they'll be much more relaxed to enter those environments as they grow older. The other thing that's gonna be really important is for me to actually be stable in bringing and introducing him into that environment. Certainly don't want to show any like shock or craziness. He's gonna feel my emotions through the leash. So I wanna be sure that he sees that I'm calm, and even if he gets worked up, I need to remain calm. Another really important thing about these experiences is we want him to have a positive experience. So although I want to encourage him, even if he gets a little bit shy, I do not want to force him because I really want him to have a positive experience when he's down there, because we want him to obviously do this again. But I'm really, really curious to see how he does. That's a Doberman. He's only 5 months old though.
Oh, he's big.
Yeah.
Is he friendly?
He's very friendly.
Hi.
Say hi, Remy. He's on Doberman Planet actually, so.
No what?
Trying to get a see how he socializes. Like his first time he's actually been out here. He's doing well now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that song came from. That bear hunt was going on, and somebody, never mind, we don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Did about 10 pounds a month to go for the next 4 or 5 months. He's gonna get a lot bigger then. Almost 5 months. All right, that market was great, and Remington did very well. He went in there and he was not anxious. He was very curious about looking at all the different people and all the sights and the sound, and there was music playing. He just did very, very well. He met people for the first time that were complete strangers. I mean, I think the only thing I was worried about is if he was going to go and jump up on people, because he was so friendly. But that was really great. So now that he's all tuckered out from going through that market and meeting all those people and all those dogs and everything else, I'm going to slow things down a little bit and bring him to this restaurant that is absolutely just fantastic for dogs. They cater to dogs. They love dogs here. I know they loved Baxter when I brought Baxter here. So we'll see how this goes.
How old?
He's only 5 months.
That's what I thought.
About another 50 pounds to go.
I used to have a red Doberman
I have
about
a red
85
too.
minutes.
He's not at home. He's being socialized.
The smartest dog I've ever owned.
They really
and
are. Remy. His name's Remington.
Remington.
Yeah, he's only 5 months old.
So cute.
He gives a little nub run.
Oh my god. All right, well, that was an awesome experience at the restaurant. I mean, I had
just from the second he entered in, I mean, all the people just talking to him and trying to greet him and the comments they made. I mean, everybody loves seeing Remington there. I had so many people coming up to me. I mean, I didn't even take the camera out nearly as many times as people came up. It would have just been a constant flow because people were just making so many comments. So it was really, really great experience, I think, for Remington to see that and to see all these folks coming up to him and being able to be so friendly and people acting so kind to him, I think was awesome for his experience. So anyways, it was a calm environment, but now we are ready to go hit the beach. Let's have some fun. And going to this beach is going to be quite the experience. All right, guys. Well, wanted to give Remy a little shot at the pet beach, but if you'll notice, Mr. Remy, he does not want to have this. Like, I really tried to bring him down there, but this is the second time, and so we're gonna abandon mission for right now. He's only 4.5 months, and we'll try a new adventure. All right, Rem, let's go. All right, well, like I said, Dog Beach was a no-go, but I decided instead of the Dog Beach, let's go introduce him to a bunch of friends at a bar. I called them up. I have a bunch of friends that are in Dunedin, and maybe there's a bunch of activities and socialization we can do at a bar on impromptu. Not part of the plan, but my friends have 3 dogs. One of the dogs, Simba, is an award-winning service dog. So they're gonna bring Simba and he'll meet Simba, and I know this particular bar is also very dog friendly and in Dunedin, so let's see how this goes. Now the dog bar, that was pretty cool. I mean, we got to spend a lot of time with our friends, but there were people coming in and out with dogs the whole entire time. I really think that was a very, very cool experience. So now I think we should be really, really ready for the biggest part of this adventure, which is the boat. And I really can't wait to see the boat. And again, safety first. I went ahead and I picked up at the marine store a life jacket for him. And by the way, at that marine store, people were constantly talking to us as we're walking through. And people were saying, is that a Doberman? And this guy was telling me a story about Dobermans at the cash register when we were picking up his life jacket. But anyways, safety first on the boat. I want to make sure that I'm bringing a pup who, if he doesn't know how to swim, anything can happen. I mean, you start driving out there and he could end up in the water. I do not want anything to happen to him, so I want to make sure that he has a flotation device just like any other person I'd put on that boat. All right, so that boat experience went great. I mean, he actually loved it. I would say that he got on the boat, he just wandered around. He was probably just soaking in the experience of being out here. Now I will say it was hot, but I think the best part was putting him right next to me on the seat and letting him just experience it right next to me. He did best when he was just sitting right next to me. And I will say that, you know, how you come up with these ideas of let's see how he likes it, but the actual doing it in the real world is a little bit tougher than what you have in your head. Trying to operate a boat and making sure that you're staying safe while you have a new puppy on board, and should at any point in time he freak out and he just jump out right away, you would not want to do that initial experience alone. And I was not alone. I actually had help from Lisa. She was there to help. So another thing you got to be really careful of is how hot it is. I mean, that sun is beating down on the docks and it's beating down on the boat. So you got to be really mindful of their paws and how hot that it actually is. I just felt it was good to do a short run at first for the experience, and then next time we'll go ahead and we'll do a better run when it's a little bit cooler in the evening, because most importantly, I want him to have a good time.
Guys, Brett and Remy did just amazing on their adventure today. And did you see how Brett really did a great job encouraging his dog and not forcing him in any situation? That beach trip, he completely bailed on that beach trip because Remington wasn't feeling it. That's a great Doberman owner right there. So thank you to Brett and Remy for letting us tag along today on your adventure. You guys did great. And I love seeing how many heads turned when Remy entered the room. That was a great thing. Guys, if you want to see more of Remy and his brother Baxter, hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell icon next to it. That way you're sure not to miss any of our future videos here at Doberman Planet, and we'll be sure, of course, to feature more of Remy and Baxter. And if you want to follow them on their own Instagram profile, you can definitely check that out. That should be popping up in the corner of your screen. Until next time, guys, please hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. It's one single click and it helps us out here on our channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next Sunday and we'll put up our feet again and love this breed a little bit more. See you then.